Today I'm going to be making a golden brown butter and pecan praline tart. This recipe is from Bon Appetit. This is the October 14th, 2010 edition of Bon Appetit. The ingredients you are going to need, you're going to have ingredients for your crust and ingredients for your filling. So I got everything out to show you at one time. So for your crust, you're going to need 3/4 cups, that's 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter, 1 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup packed brown sugar, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then for the filling, you're going to need an egg, 1 egg, a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of golden syrup such as Lyle's, and I do have the Lyle's golden syrups, we're going to use that. A 1/4 cup heavy whipping cream, we just use, I have the Great Value, that's what we're using. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then you're going to need 1 cup of coarsely chopped pecans, and you're going to toast them. That's why when I measured them out, a whole cup, I just went ahead and put it in the skillet because we're going to toast them. And we bought the Meyer, we have the Meyer pecan chips. I really like these because it takes all the work out of getting them into small pieces. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to toast our pecans. I'm going to spray this pan. You need a tart pan. You need to preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and you want to grease the bottom and sides. You need a tart pan, preferably that has a removable bottom like this one. This is just the Wilton brand. We're going to spray it all around the sides and the bottom with the vegetable spray. We are also going to put our butter, our unsalted butter, in this little pan right here. You don't need anything big. And you're going to melt it, and it's going to cook for about 4 minutes. It's going to turn brown. So when this turns brown, as we're doing that, we're going to toast our pecans, and then we'll be back. So my butter is brown. It was on the stove for 4 minutes, and we did toast our pecans, and I have them in a ball over here off to the side. But this was, like I said, 4 minutes for the butter. Now you want to set a timer for 15 to 20 minutes because you want this to just be barely warm before we move on to our next step. Okay, so my brown butter has been sitting for it's been sitting for 20 minutes. I'm going to take my flour and my salt and my brown sugar and whisk these together. And when you do your brown butter, when you pour it out of a pan, the directions tell you to pour it in a glass measuring cup to let it sit. And the reason is because you're going to use 1/2 cup of it. So that's not going to leave you with a lot.
Like a 1/4?
Yeah, it's going to leave you with a 1/4. So I'm going to have to be careful. Now take a fork and mix it all together. Now you take this, pour it into your tart pan, your greased tart pan. Use your fingers to push it into the bottom and up the sides. And this smells so good. Just this right here, this mixture smells incredible. So I'm going to use my fingers and we're going to go up the sides. I like to kind of get it going up the sides first and then do the bottom part. going to stay at room temperature for 10 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes and it's going to sit out at room temperature. Then I'm going to put it in my oven on the center rack at 375. It's supposed to bake for 15 to 18 minutes. So I'm going to put it on for 16 minutes. But once I get that in the oven to bake, we'll be back to do the next part. Okay, so now in a mixer, you want to take your egg and your brown sugar. This is for your the filling, and you want to whisk this together. Now you want to whisk in the syrup, the Lyle's Golden Syrup, the whipping cream, and the salt. My crust has baked, so, and you notice I put it on a cookie sheet just in case any of the butter, you never know if it's going to leak or anything like that. So I just, for safety, I just baked it on a baking sheet. So that was in for actually 17 minutes is what I set it for. This is my mixture. It just came off. You saw it off the KitchenAid. So now you want to take the remainder of your butter, and we're going to try to leave all those dark bits in the bottom. So I'm going to just pour it in here slowly. There we go. And so I have that. And you're going to stir in this part. That's why I took it off the mixer, because you want to stir it in. And you're going to take all of your pecans, your toasted pecans, and pour those in there and stir these in. Your crust, like I said, it just came out of the oven, so it is warm. So you kind of want to evenly distribute this mixture in your tart pan. Now we want to bake it for 25 to 27 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for 26 minutes and then we'll be back. So I just took the tart out of the oven. It stayed in for 26 minutes, and it said that when you take it out that the center will still move a little bit when the pan is gently shaken. So that's normal for it to move a little bit. It's not going to be set. Also, I want to point out, you probably can't see in this light, but I'm glad I put this on a cookie sheet because you can see around the bottom, it's glistening where the butter has come out of the bottom of that pan, and it might have dripped in the oven or whatever. So I am glad I put it on this cookie sheet. So we want to let it cool at room temperature. It says you can do ahead. This can be made one day ahead. Cover loosely and store at room temperature. It does not say, it says cool completely, but it doesn't say how long it takes. So I'll probably leave it here for about an hour and then we'll check back. So my tart has been cooling for an hour and it has cooled off, but look on you can see on that pan the butter. So when you make this, make sure that you do use your baking sheet. I laid this on top of a Pyrex just so I could get it off of here. And then I wonder if we'll be able to slide it. Yeah, there we go. Came right off. So I'm gonna cut this. How I would normally cut a tart. I didn't even look at the recipe because this is just how I would cut it into 8 slices. They want you to get 12. So you would have to cut them much smaller. I don't actually have the Bon Appetit magazine. I found this recipe online. I was actually looking at pictures and like you do, and I thought I saw one of these pecan pie tarts, and I thought, oh, I need that recipe. I need to find out how to make this, and so I found this one. So I don't actually have the magazine, but that just goes to show you, you can look anything up and find something, you know, find a recipe out there. I don't even think I've ever seen Bon Appetit magazine.
We don't shop for magazines in the food magazine area, or look at magazines, period, honestly. I love that crust.
The reason, this is like a I like the crust more than on a regular pecan pie. Mm-hmm. I love it in the tart pan. And what sold me on this was, number one, I already have a tart pan, but number two, the little bitty pieces of pecans. So a traditional pecan pie, they use pecan halves. And all my life I've had the pecan halves, and I wanted, the crust on this looks so appealing, the top of it, those pecans look so appealing that I thought, I need to try that texture. I need to have that. So what do you think?
It's really good. If you like pecan pie, I think you'll like this.
Oh, absolutely.
The crust is a little like gritty texture. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of a grittiness to it. Excellent flavor. I don't think it's sweet. Don't get me wrong, it's super, super sweet, but I don't think it's quite as syrupy sweet as a pecan pie. I think it's just because the center is not as thick, maybe.
I personally, now Kevin might feel differently. I like this more than pecan pie. Because in pecan pie, you get there's a gelatinous center.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, this is thinner.
Right, so there's like between this top part and that bottom crust, there's a whole center part of gel, and it's very, very sweet. This is like almost no gel, and I love it.
It is the same, kind of looks the same, but it's a thin layer of it. Mm-hmm. The crust is a little, it's got, I won't say it's scorched because that's the wrong word for it. It's got some crispness to it. Crispness, not Christmas.
I think
you see perfect. It's not burnt at all, but it has a flavor like it's very well. Yeah, no soggy bottom.
No soggy bottom. It's perfect.
It's got a flavor like it's toasted almost.
I love the flavor of it. Yeah. Now, see, to me,
it's very good.
How would you rate it though? Because I would give it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
I love it.
If you're having like a holiday or a gathering of some kind, you could easily make one of these and have it for people. The bad thing is the way we slice it, you only get 8 slices of it.
You'd have to make 2 or 3.
Yeah, if they really like that kind of pie. It's very good. The only thing you can add to it is maybe some whipped topping on top of it.
So what number would you give it?
I'd give it a 5. It's very, very good.
In all honesty, Kevin loves pecan pie.
Love pecan pie.
Do you like pecan pie more? Because you do like that.
I like that sweet, gooey center. This is about the same, but about equal.
See, for me, this is so much better.
I would take either one.
I even get salt.
Yeah, there was a little central salt to it.
So once I had swallowed it, and then I was just sitting here talking, it was like, oh, some salt was in your teeth.
Yeah, I would literally take either one. If I had one or the other, I would.
If they were both sitting on the table,
you would pick this.
Oh, hands down, I would pick this. I think it's delicious.
You know, I probably would too, because like Tammy said, that part in the center is just thinner, so you don't get as much of that kind of sticky, gooey kind of texture.
Right.
But if you really like that's your favorite part of pecan pie, then you'd want to get that.
Right.
And this may not hit that urge and that desire you have, because it's not super sticky and gooey.
Right. Well, you'll have to let me know if anyone out there tries this recipe. It worked for me. It was perfect. Yep. Or like if you get Bon Appetit magazine, you'll have to let me know how long you've been getting it. And is it just like full of recipe?
Yeah, is it kind of like Food Network?
Yeah, like a Food Network magazine or something like that. You'll have to let me know. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.